let's get rolling. This is our first ever social media boot camp. I am super excited to share this. We've taken a lot of time to put some of this content together for you. So let's talk about what we're going to be rolling through today. We got a boot camp introduction, which we're going to start with. Next, this is what I hear all the time when we get hotel feedback forms from these events. I want more examples. We got a ton of it for you. A lot of content creation. We're going to go over property features, local events, local stories. We're going to dip into video and Instagram reels that I teased on that banner. Finding your hotel's social voice, right? This is a great question to ask, whether you're the one running your social or you got a social media admin. If you can't answer what is my social voice online, this section is going to really be a place where you're going to want to highlight, and we will be sending this presentation out for you. I'll give some more information about that later. Content customization by platform. There are tons of social media platforms out there: LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We cannot treat them all the same as much as we'd like to. Each one has the objective, each one have different target and audience. And you know what? We've got to make sure that we're posting consistently to each, but we're effectively utilizing each platform to the fullest. So that's what that section is about. So let's get rolling. As I mentioned before, my name is Ryan Embry. I am the Director of Marketing here at Travel Media Group. This social media bootcamp would have not been possible for our incredible social media team. Now, this is just a couple of our social media analysts that actually go and create social posts for hotels and hotel management companies. We posted over 1 million social posts to date. We even have a great success story in the additional resources of a hotel management company where we manage a dozen of their hotel social profiles and have some incredible statistics. So I definitely encourage you to download that. And today, like I said, we've got a lot of content in a little bit of time. So 25 different example post types. So get your notes ready. That's going to be across 10 brands with 12 unique properties. So trying to go across the spectrum from independent all the way to mid-scale, upper mid-scale, and we got a couple luxury in here as well. So let's start with content creation, right? Let's get to the good stuff. Property features is always so important. Sometimes I will come to a hotel social feed and it will just feel like an events calendar. At the end of the day, we are providing accommodations for our travelers and our guests. One of the things that they want to know is, what can your property feature? This is a great example of a hotel that knows who their ideal target market is, being that there's business travelers. They're trying to up business travel. Instead of just saying that we've got a restaurant called the Bistro here, they're actually tailoring this post to talk to that business traveler. Fantastic job here, but every single property feature shouldn't just be what we're trying to showcase and highlight, but who are we trying to appeal to, what type of traveler, and fill that occupancy. Capitalizing on hospitality trends and patterns right now is huge, right? We've heard that, everyone's kind of heard this term, leisure travel, right? Work from home, trying to capitalize that. This is a great social media post about an article of 5 ways that flexible working has changed during a holiday to potentially hope to get some more bookings during that time. I love this post. So I mentioned this before for the industry sentiment report that we just did. 7.5 million guest sentiment that we analyzed and observed. And there was an interesting pattern trend that we saw. There is a 2-to-1 negative to positive ratio on when Wi-Fi is mentioned in guest reviews. This is a huge premium. Free Wi-Fi is an amenity that almost every hotel has, but if you go to your feed, when was the last time you posted about it? This is huge for not only business travel, but for leisure travel, and makes for a fantastic post. So again, a lot of people don't think about this, but that premium Wi-Fi, if you make sure that that is matching your story on your reviews, which is very important, it could help you get that little bit of edge over competition. Absolutely love this post. The next one. This is a fantastic post. Almost every hotel on this call probably has a pool, right? And these are one of the most engaged social posts that we see, a great picture of the pool. But what they did in this copy is so clever. They've actually been able to showcase and highlight one of their most popular amenities, the pool, but they've also been able to educate their traveler in the same way, right? So they did kind of a funny little phrase here of, even on if the kids are begging to go swimming at 9 p.m., our indoor pool doesn't close till 10. What we've just done there is just educated the traveler and set expectations. This could be a call that maybe they're getting at the front desk every single day. When does your pool close? And what they've been able to do is now flip that into an engaging social post. So hopefully that will avoid some of those questions. I'm headed to a beach hotel this weekend. If I want to know if they're providing towels, I can just head over to the hotel's social media page. And if they're saying, hey, leave the towels at home, we've got pool and oceanside towels for you, that's answering a question and informing and educating me before I step foot in their lobby, which we're always trying to do. So in this boot camp, it would not be a boot camp without some exercises. So I'm going to give you some homework. I'm going to give you some tasks to do every single time you see a slide like this. I would make a note, take a screenshot, whatever you need to do. But for property features, really we want to think about who is our ideal guest and what property features appeal most to them, right? If we did consultations with a lot of the hotels on here, we'd see some great pictures of maybe the room and amenities, same as what we see on our website, but social media gives us an opportunity to take that image further, right? So what can we do to appeal to that ideal guest or that target audience? Where are we seeing occupancy gaps, maybe on those shoulder nights, that we can fill in those rooms? Let's go to local events, right? And I love talking social media, to social admins about local events, because this is an easy way to fill your content calendar, right? Anyone that runs a social media or a business's social media is always looking for ways to fill their social media. Events just does that. But really, the hospitality and hotel industry really only scratches the surface when it comes to events. We look at these events as occupancy drivers, right? So this is a great post of a one-time event, a country music festival that's happening. We post before, but we really miss a huge opportunity during and after, right? I use the example of the Taylor Swift concert, which has been sweeping the nation, right? When is that the height of excitement during that time? It's right before the concert, during, and right after. People are posting their videos, they're talking about it online, they're going on social media and seeing who else is on there. This is a time for hoteliers to get engagement in their posts. We need to stop thinking about them as just occupancy drivers and see, hey, what was your favorite song from the concert series if you're staying with us? And if we can get some engagement, that's going to increase our reach, and that's going to increase our awareness online to other travelers. And even having someone tag the property if you stayed, for the country music festival, this could set you up if this is an annual event for occupancy next year and grow that audience. Maybe when the occupancy is not there, we know during these events we're going to have high occupancy. So let's try to capture those followers and build them for times where in the fall and winter when occupancy could be slowing down. So exercise on here, let's strategize a posting cadence when a local event is announced. Sporting events, concerts, anything that maybe happens just one time a year. When are we posting? When is that booking window? And what are we doing, more importantly, during and after to try to capitalize on engagement and reach during that time? Very important. But what about those ongoing events, right? This is another great way to fill our calendar. Maybe something that happens every Friday in a month for jazz night, right? And one of the things that I want us to look at here is the way that we're consuming media outside of social media. So Netflix, right? When we want to binge something, or we hear about a series that we're very interested in, and maybe we are in the middle of season 3 or season 4, what do? We try to go back and catch up. And we're also excited about the next season, about the next episode that's coming out. So if we can create a series on our social media, Now all of a sudden, it doesn't necessarily, maybe we don't have jazz night at the property, but maybe you have a food and beverage outlet that you can do a craft cocktail every single month, a monthly craft cocktail that you're serving to guests. You show the ingredients and what you're featuring. If you make that episode number 7, the guests that are seeing that for the first time might be interested to go back to 6 and 5. And then they might be excited to see what you have next. So this is a great way to get engagement. It's a great way to get followers. And it's a fantastic way to fill your content calendar, which again, as social admins, we're always looking to do to make sure we have that consistency there. So maybe we might not have something on property, but maybe outside of property, right? So farmers markets that are coming in. The one thing about our industry that we can't control is when our travelers are staying with us or when they're looking at our social media. So making sure that we consistently have these feeds in there. We want to be able to tell a story in about 5 to 6 posts. So if they come to your hotel's feed and they scroll about 5 to 6 posts, what story is that telling? There should be really a combination there of local events, property features, and lastly, local stories, which we're going to talk about here in a second. So your exercise for local events: procure a list of ongoing local events, either at your hotel that you're doing or you're making one up, or in your area. Again, creating series online can be a very powerful thing when it comes to follower growth and engagement. So let's talk about local stories, right? And we look at the social landscape in 2023, and it's very difficult. It's very rare to find a business that is not on social media today, right? Whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a bar, whether it's a water sports, like this example here. So getting them involved in our conversation is very important. And the example I always use is when I was behind the front desk, we were already doing collaborations before we even knew, before this was even a term. So when someone would come up to me at the front desk and ask, hey, I'm looking for some dining options tonight, what would you recommend? I would have my go-to places. And, social media, this is a great place to do that, but get that restaurant or get that bar or get that business involved in what you're talking about and leveraging their network. So this is a great example here of the Embassy Suites talking about a local bar. And this local bar in Orlando happens to have over 5,000 followers. So now all of a sudden, if that proper Orlando social media admin's on the other side and they're paying attention and social listening, which they should be, they should engage with this post, like it, thank you. And now all of a sudden they bring their network into the conversation, which is exactly what we're looking for. There's a lot of mutual benefits to doing this with businesses. And like I said, a lot of the times we're already doing this by suggesting some of these local businesses. It's important to get their social pages involved in these conversations. So make a list of local businesses you could collab with on social media, right? And that's just tagging them. Maybe it's something, an offline conversation where you do some sort of series, right? And kind of make these ideas, mix these ideas together. But it's not just businesses, right? As soon as somebody comes into our hotel and we identify them, let's say as a Hilton Honors member or a Bonvoy member, what are we doing for these guests? We're rolling out the red carpet because of their loyalty, right? Well, imagine what's happening when somebody that has a huge social following, if you knew that someone had a huge influence online, wouldn't you roll the red carpet out for them? Because if they're leaving you a review online or if they're leaving a social post like this is absolutely fantastic content that we should be reaching out to Carrie and Josh right away saying, hey, we'd love to share this on our feed. But the question is are you listening? And that is one thing at Travel Media Group. Our TMG OneView feed gives you access. As soon as someone mentions your hotel on any social platform that you have connected and tagged you, it automatically alerts you. And that gives you the opportunity to be engaged in these conversations. Because if you look here between Carrie and Josh, it's over 2,000 friends, and personal recommendations are still one of the strongest recommendations online. So if you're not a part of this conversation, you're really, really missing out there. So create an engagement plan for social influencers at your hotel. So somebody tags the hotel, someone thanks you for your stay. What does that plan look like? What social media strategy do you have in place to make sure that you're leveraging everything that you can at that point? So let's talk about it. I put a huge banner on the title of this boot camp because Instagram Reels, I want to shout it from the rooftops. This is a huge opportunity for hotels right now. And the hotels that are not on this are really, really missing out. I can throw stats at you all day. As you can see, 2.3 billion users on Instagram. Reels make up more than 20% of the time that users are spending on Instagram, and that's only going up 20% of the time. But really, the real important part here is Reels equal organic reach based on user interest. So what that means is most of the posts that we've seen at this point, you're either going to get in someone's feed by the fact that if they're following you, if you do social media ad spend, or they engage with your post and it's then broadcasted to their network. With Instagram Reels, your content can organically show up into a user's feed based on interest. Now, luckily, we work in an industry that almost everyone is interested in, right? Travel and hotels, right? Everyone likes going on vacation. So the only way that you can be in this arena and be found on here is if you're producing Instagram Reels. And Travel Media Group just recently launched Instagram Reels for hotels so that you can produce this type of content that can be found organically on places like social media or on places like Instagram. And we are also looking to launch TikTok as well, which, as we know, is really, really taking off right now. Now, we've talked a lot about these content creations, right? But if we really want to take our content creation to the next level, we really need to think about hybrid content. So combining these two things. And one of the exercises, and I wish I had put it on as an exercise slide here, before we sit down to make a post, we really should be talking about what is the objective of this post. And if we can have a dual, a post reach two goals or achieve two goals or objectives, that is a chef kiss post, as we like to call it. So this is a fantastic example here of a meeting or seminar. So we're talking about a local story, which is the local conference center, an airport that we're near. And then we talk about a property feature, which is a free shuttle. So we were able to combine two of these type of content into one and really fulfill both objectives during this time. Now, I mentioned at the top of this that this is our first ever social media bootcamp. Now it is, but we actually did do a review response bootcamp last year, and you can actually find that in the additional resources if you're interested in that review response bootcamp. But one of the slides that we showed during that was talking about finding your hotel's voice online. And we showed this kind of spectrum, and we asked, hotels, really, you should have a good understanding. You should have a good understanding of where you land on the spectrum. Now, the same can be true with your hotel social voice. And creating 1 million of these, we really narrowed down 6 distinct social media voices: direct, inspirational, friendly, bold, funny, and educational. And I'm going to go over some of those today. So direct is our modern guest rooms are well equipped with spacious, comfortable beds where you can sleep uninterrupted. So we're really just kind of laying this out there. We're not kind of adding any bells and whistles here. We're really just trying to share more information with our guests. But when we talk about inspirational, this is the same post, and you can see the difference of just what copy makes here. When you're going out to explore the world, you need a place to recharge. Book this room and rest easy knowing we're part of your travel experience. So this Could be a lifestyle brand, right? That's really appealing to those travelers that are looking for an experience at their hotel. And you can tell just between the direct and the inspirational how different just that copy can make a post sound and feel. Friendly. Top of the morning to you. Our town has so many St. Patrick's Day activities, you may not know what to choose. Stay with us. We'll be happy to point you in the right direction. Your bed will be waiting when you get back. So this is a really customer service forward copy. You know, if I'm a guest here and I'm traveling to this hotel, the impression I will get is that if I were to reach out to this hotel on Facebook, I would get a response back very quickly. So make sure if this is the tone and customer service is the tone that you're setting, you want to make sure that that expectation is met in all aspects of your digital presence. Bold, right? So had a few too many this St. Patrick's Day, sleep it off and stumble on down to our free breakfast. Our waffles will be just the cure you need. We'll even make the bed for you. So this, I think, is a really great example of the wide spectrum of what we said. If this type of copy was put on a family and leisure a hotel, a kid-friendly hotel, this really might miss the mark. But maybe a downtown setting where there's not a lot of nightlife by you, this might be the right social tone for you. Funny, you'll need a place to recover from all the St. Patrick's Day action. Luckily, our modern guests are well equipped with spacious, comfortable beds where you can sleep it off uninterrupted in your quiet, dark, cozy space, courtesy of your blackout curtains. So this one's a little tricky. I would say, make sure you have a very trusted social admin if you're going to go this route. Consistency is key here with these social voice, or you have a very good, social media agency like Travel Media Group, for example, and they're very clear with the tone and voice that you're trying to put out there. And then lastly, educational. Crisp linens, plush comforters, down feather pillows and blackout curtains give you just the sleep you're looking for. A relaxing stay awaits when you visit. So very straightforward, educational. There's a lot of information packed in that, but it is a great job of setting expectations before a guest, again, even steps foot on the property. So as we wrap up here, and I think this is so important, everybody. This is content customization by platform. So we cannot treat these platforms the same. And this is such a great example. As you may or may not know, Twitter has character limits, right? We can't type as much copy as we would maybe on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Instagram, this is a great example here, doesn't allow you put direct links into your copy. You actually have to put that within your bio. So this does a great job here of talking about a charter boat, and instead of linking, we actually tag the captain of that charter boat so they get more example that way and they travel within that ecosystem. So fantastic job there. And then Facebook and LinkedIn, this was really, really creative by our team here. So Facebook, we said, love to fish. How about booking a charter for you and your family? It's easier than you think. Get started. And for LinkedIn, we changed that because of the audience and the profile of a business or of a LinkedIn user to love to fish. How about booking a charter boat for you and your colleagues for some team building? So this is a great way of just that small tweak and customization to make sure that it's as effective as possible per platform. And that is really, really where TMG Social Media Solutions shines for hotels. We're doing this. As you can tell here, we've done over 1 million social media posts, but we really involve you in this process from the left-hand side. This is a collaborative effort. These exercises, we roll through with you. We make sure that every step of the way, we know what your social voice is. What is your ideal target customer and audience that you're trying to reach, to make sure that the content that we're creating matches what you're trying to accomplish. And as I said previously, we've got a great social media success story that I encourage you to download in our additional resources. So As we wrap up here, I'm going to give my direct contact information. I know we've got some questions in the queue that I'll certainly be taking a look at after the fact. I want to go ahead and thank everyone for taking the time. We just made it under 30 minutes. Super excited about that. We packed a lot in there. I hope you found this educational. And if you're ever looking for more educational content, like I said, follow us on LinkedIn or check out our YouTube page. We have all of these educational webinars in there, including our R&R Bootcamp. Thank you so much and have a fantastic rest of your week, everyone.